For single men over 30, it feels like dating has just stopped. Friends are coupled up, social invites are rare, and dating apps are a dead end. Like, you start to just get filtered out by your age and no one's even seeing you anymore. It feels like all of those opportunities that you used to have just vanished. And that really hurts. But it's not actually true. The real problem isn't the fact that there are no opportunities, it's the fact that there are no easy opportunities anymore. And that's a very subtle shift, but it makes all of the difference. Because once you start to acknowledge there are still opportunities all around you and stop looking for this one mythical, magical location that is just like a farm of beautiful single women running around for you to go meet, you start to realize what this really is a skill issue. It isn't some lack of information you have about a location. It's working on 3 core skills that I want to take you through today so you can start to take those opportunities that are just right in front of you. And then for those guys that really don't know where to meet women, I'm going to give you some examples that I've taken my clients through so they've been able to meet women right in front of them when they are above 30. So, the first core skill that every guy who wants to be able to start meeting women and taking these slightly more difficult opportunities, because you aren't just thrown into the social mixer of university anymore. Instead, those opportunities, they're smaller. It's the girl from the cafe, it's the girl that you end up walking up next to in the supermarket. These opportunities are still there. But what happens for you? Think about it. If I see that girl and, oh, she's kind of pretty, I'd like to speak to her, oh shit, then my heart starts racing, my throat, it closes up. The thought of going over there, what could happen? What will people think of me? What's she going to think of me? I start to end up in this escalating loop of anxiousness. So I can't even take that shot. So that brings us to our first core skill that every guy needs to start to learn. And that is emotional regulation. Our ability to, when we're in the moment, when we have that shot to meet the girl, we're able to calm ourselves down. Because it's natural, it is scary to go talk to her. It's sort of built into us that we don't want to fail with too many girls. It's very primal. It feels that kind of social embarrassment, but it's not really real. So one of the things that we have to work on is bringing ourselves back into a calm state to allow ourselves and our body not to freeze up and walk over there. So, the way that I work on with clients and what I did honestly with myself, like I have approached over 1,000 girls walking over, and every single time before I walk over, I'm taking a breath. I'm learning to start to slow my breathing down, because for you, when you're there, you start to have all of that running, that energy running around your body. What it takes is to slow yourself down, breathe in through your nose, and then have an extended exhale through your mouth. And there's a very particular reason why we do this. When we start to slow down our breathing and have that longer exhale, it starts to slow down our heart rate. And then when our heart rate slows down, it tells our body and sends a signal to our brain to stop releasing cortisol and adrenaline that is what's sending us into this mad spiral of panic. And once we bring ourselves back to baseline, it allows us to really think about what's happening and see that all it is me going over there and saying hi. There's nothing more than that. It's not some dramatic life-altering thing, but we struggle to feel that when we're in the midst of the higher energy. Oh my God, oh, what could happen? What could happen? I don't know. And we go. We don't want to engage with that anxious part of our head, because all it ends up with is us thinking like we're going to be just like humiliated and never be able to speak to anyone ever again. It's simply not true. So that's the first core skill that we want to work on. And we can do this at any time of day. Like, you can be sat there on this video right now and just trying to put your attention into your body, following your breath, allowing yourself to not ruminate in your head all of the time. And I know it's tempting, because that's what I wanted to do. I was that analytical accountant. I valued my ability to be in my head so much that I would then just allow myself to get stressed out. because I couldn't relax into my body, and it really harmed my ability to speak to women. Okay. Secondly, once we've started to master our emotional regulation, it's beginning to address what are our limiting beliefs around this. And this is something that stops a lot of men, and it's what I work on a lot with my clients, is starting to uncover what are those things deep in your psyche that you've said are stopping you from being able to do that move, from being able to walk over there. Right, guys? Yeah. So what is stopping you from saying that simple hello? What is stopping you from being able to walk over there? There'll be something, and it's somewhere deep in your psyche. A common one that I work through with guys a lot is this sense that they're not enough to go over there. They can't, like, you can't interrupt a girl. You can't walk over there and just barge into her day. It's rude. It's impolite. She'll hate it. They've seen the Me Too stuff. Like, they're absolutely not doing that. And it's starting to unpick, what are these beliefs and are they really true? And that's what I'll walk guys through. So one of the big things that I tell guys is you are allowed to interrupt her. And not only that, your presence over there is going to be the highlight of her day. It's a gift, because women are quite lonely. I will walk guys through the data that I've got that shows them that I think it's 77% of women aged 18 to 30 wish they were approached more. And I think it's 49% of women young women admit to being lonely some or all of the time. People are crying out for connection. And it's horrible that we don't go out there and give it to them. So for you, it's starting to analyze, what do you think are your limiting beliefs? Simply write it down. What makes you think you can't go over there and walk and talk? Hi. What makes you think you're limited by that sort of planting your feet in the floor, not being able to engage? So big thing to overcome. And the final one, much simpler. Right, dude. It's a busy path today. So the final one is simply working on the practical steps. What do I actually say to her? Because I've now been able to calm myself down. I've logically been able to realize, okay, it is okay for me to go over there and speak to her. But simply put, what do I actually say? Because so many men get stuck on this, and they actually get taught a lot of the wrong things, if I'm quite honest. Because when I'm working with a guy, I take him through a simple framework to allow him to just be able to walk over there, have an easy conversational flow. But what I'm going to run through now is more about eliminating your beliefs about what you think you need to say. You don't need anything spectacular. We've gotten into this point where, say I'm stood there and I'm in the cafe and there's the girl just in the queue. I'm thinking I need to come up with something amazing to say to this girl. I need to be able to win her over. I'm going to try and convince her to be interested in me based on the words that I say. And this is just a flawed idea. And there's a reason we think this. It's because of dating apps. Because on a dating app, if you just say hi to a girl, well, you're competing against 1,000 other guys that might have just said hi. So what you initially say, because they can't tell anything about you other than a bit of your profile and what you choose to say. So all the information that they have to go on is basically that opening line. So it gets judged at a lot higher standard. But in real life, they get to take in who you are, your body language. You've already signaled bravery by going over to speak to them. All of the openers that I work with guys, they're not complicated. It's going over there, giving her a simple compliment, simply saying hi, or just saying something contextual. Like, I met my girlfriend by walking over and simply saying hi. I thought you looked awesome. I wanted to introduce myself. And then working with a client recently who spoke to a girl at the gym. Miraculous, right? You can still talk to girls in the gym. He was on the stepper, like he was walking up, you know, the stepper, the thing, he was injured. So he was having to go up on that. And there was a girl on the stepper next to him. He simply turned to her and said, "How far are you going?" That ended up spiraling into like a 15-minute conversation, and they end up exchanging numbers and going on a date. That is not something that is completely out of this world incredible. What we need to do is get comfortable understanding that those basic few steps of just being able to say hi, compliment, contextual, something about the situation going on around us, and then smoothly going into, my name's Andrew, what's your name? Because we want to move from being strangers to acquaintances real fast. So it's going from something simple, exchanging names, and we're looking to see, does she want to engage with us? We're not trying to convince anyone to be interested. I like to frame it like we're going around and we're just knocking on the door. We'll see if it opens. Let's see if that person wants to engage with us. Maybe they're having a horrible day and they don't. That's okay. Because our job isn't to convince anybody to like us. Our job is merely to go over and show who we are and see if they want to engage with us. And those 3 core skills are what are going to change any guy who's over 30's world, because he's starting to feel isolated and alone, like he can't meet anybody. All of those easy opportunities that there once was, of all the social invitations, all that network you had around you, where you'd literally just get sat at a dinner party next to a single girl, doesn't happen anymore. But you do still live your day-to-day life. And unless all you do is work from home, never leave, you will still encounter girls in your day-to-day life. Like, they exist. The issue is not taking those opportunities as they come in front of you. So I said I'd run you through some quick examples, places that have worked for my clients, and we've named a few already. The gym is still a completely valid place to approach by simply saying hi, engaging with them on this level, then going to cafes, going to high streets where I met my girlfriend, being able to go to like the mall, social clubs, social events. All of these, like, is not about the venue. It's about you being brave enough to be able to walk over there and simply say hi. And those 3 skills will absolutely do it for you. So if you feel like you need some extra help, feel free to get in touch. Like, click on the link below, see all the stories of the guys that I've worked with. But if you're looking to start this like right now, work on your ability to breathe, regulate, walk over, and see if you can give a simple compliment to the next girl that you see. Like, that's your mission. Get out there, start creating opportunities.